upon a time, there was a young woman who ran her own business, selling, of all things, athleisure apparel. Now, in terms of unique buying point, her brand had something rather niche-y in terms of niche. Every item of clothing only came in one colour. Red. And not just any old red, but one specific shade of red. Scarlet. Not crimson or vermilion or ruby or cardinal, neither maroon nor claret, russet or carmine. There was not a hint of cerise or cherry, which technically are the same thing. But never say that to a colour aesthete, you'll just sound wrong. No rose, puce, magenta, Titian, burgundy or blush. And most certainly no garnet, flame, coral, madder, poppy, folly or rust. And as for salmon, rosewood, jasper, cordovan or no! Even the reds with reds in their name, like cadmium red, imperial red, apple red, turkey red, who knew, barn red, Persian red, light red, dark red, mid red, and red, were nowhere to be seen on this clothing. Scarlet, the perfect hue for our heroine. Now, as one might expect, a brand with such a precise and specific perspective needed a very particular name, and this brand was the Scarlet Hoodie. The young woman who, for anonymity's sake, we shall call Scarlet, as in O'Hara, Johansson or Pimpernel, named her brand after her grandmother Margaret, or Nanny Peg, as she was known by just about everybody. It was Nanny Peg who first knitted Scarlet a rubescent shawl, which in turn inspired the unique brand of the Scarlet Hoodie. And as a tribute to her grandmother, Scarlet had each garment embroidered with the word Peg. Scarlet knew that to attain a far-reaching and highly loyal audience, she would need to build a relationship with them, and decided that the World Wide Web was a great way to get her brand message across to precisely the right demographic for her clothing. So, one fine day, she wrapped herself in the knitted shawl and set off on a voyage into the vast expanse of the internet. She browsed page upon page, signing up for courses on marketing and messaging, presentation and promotion. So much information, so many ideas and contrasting perspectives. It was rather like getting lost in a forest. A great dark forest of meandering paths, and so many shadowy nooks and corners that it was easy to get lost, and even more worrisome, to lose oneself. After navigating an infinite array of 5-step videos, the only path to success-based media, and several bread baking tutorials, Scarlet concluded the overriding message was to develop a social media strategy, because, as we all know, social media is the answer to everything. Feeling lonely? Without any meaningful connections or relationships in your life? Social media is the answer. suffering with intense, seemingly endless emotional and psychological pain? Social media is the answer. Want to remain unheard while shouting until hoarse your self-entitled judgments into an endless cesspit of unadulterated hate, futility and despair? The social media is the answer. Recognizing her deep-seated and overwhelming need to create a reality where her brand and her business were successful, Scarlet was led to a reality in her mind where social media was the solution to every problem she encountered. Her magic wand that, with one wave, would shove all the real-world reality up its own backside, sideways, without lubricant or poppers. So, she posted and posted some more Insta-pics of hooded gorgeousness. A Pinterest board of nothing but the purest Scarlet. Videos of perfectly coiffured, filler-faced, eyebrow-sculpted models that gurned and pouted whilst moving in ways that would once have been diagnosed as something nasty, such as rickets or an anal prolapse or alike. She tweeted and ticky-tocked, Facebooked and twitched, not because she was on Twitch, but down to her being exposed to so much mindless, mimetic drivel, she had actually developed a twitch. Yet, it was all an empty and endless chasm of nothingness, a gaping black maw with only echoes to break the monotonous silence, a soft and fleshy, cavernous hole that resembled the anus of reality, once it had shoved itself up its own backside and was left there to fester until just about every sphincter relaxed into a comfortable numbness, capable of holding all the lies we are told every day until polarized and conflicted to the point of raging paralysis. And wonky-eyed cats. Don't forget those, they're funny. Yet, this magic wand was not magic, nor a wand. It was a big, bad wolf, self-serving and honed solely on sating its own ravenous appetite, fooling all he encountered into feeding him and feeding him some more. Every algorithm click and ad-fueled deception baited Scarlet further into the forest, ever closer to those lupine clutches. She diversified and diluted her brand. She sold her integrity and morals, swapped beliefs, and turned against everything that made her who she was. All in an attempt to bridge the gap between the concept of going viral and an audience who never came. She was told it would be easy. She was given examples of those who'd done it, talked to those who had done it, and shared how they had done it. She knew each 5-step methodology and acronym and 7-day ritual. She had targeted specific communities and demographics with tailored labels for each. She had researched search engine optimization and created a mood board. She had paid for advertising and repurposed the content of others just as she had been told to do. She had slogged, blogged, and digitally snogged her way into a never-ending cycle so perfectly circular, the letter O's in Facebook would have been envious if they had known Scarlet as anything more than a nexus point of data in an incomprehensibly large database of data. In a world where information and data simultaneously mean everything and nothing. Scarlet had wandered this forest for so long and was so invested, she had not even noticed it evolving from being a simple collection of can't see the wood for the trees to a whole metaverse of non-reality, a time-consuming, legacy-corroding, integrity-sucking incubus, devoid of value and ultimately a dream-crushing void of empty promises. Not that Scarlet was bitter. There were a lot of pictures of naked celebrities to take her mind away from ever feeling a pang of bitterness for the destruction of her hard-earned brand and her beloved grandmother's name. And then, one day, just like any other, the Scarlet Hoodie went viral across all social media platforms and beyond. Her diverse range of products had been noticed for using the word peg on her different embroidered slogans. Peg woman, peg man, peg children, peg human rights, peg LGBTQIA+, peg vegans, peg the world, amongst others. As Scarlet read the comments, threads and general ire of the online community, she wondered why people were so angry. Feminist groups were angry, human rights groups were angry, the queer community was angry, child protection groups were angry, vegans were angry. No change there then. Environmental groups were angry, and worst of all, the most heinous offence that anybody could possibly cause, straight white men were angry. In short, everybody was angry, and they were angry at Scarlet. Unsure of what to do, or think, or feel, Scarlet followed a variety of links until she happened upon an article about her brand. The article focused on the word peg, which apart from being an implement for hanging out washing to dry and a curtailment of the name Margaret, to peg means to strap on a specific device and do to another, usually a man, what reality has done to itself in the eyes of so many people across the globe. In other words, her brand had inadvertently shared a message of buggering just about every demographic, marginalized human being and privileged person, Karen or otherwise. Knowing she must face the internet to explain herself and this terrible misunderstanding, Scarlet began to type an apology and detailed how the PEG slogan came about as a tribute to her grandmother. Using her finest wordsmithery, her extensive online training in social media tactics, and a thesaurus, Scarlet sculpted a masterful piece of literary perfection. She posted it, vlogged it, and turned it into a series of photographs for Instagram. Yet, people would not believe the word peg in any form of reality is a shortened version of Margaret. I mean, seriously? Who would believe that fake news? We know that birds are government drones, COVID vaccines contain nanotechnology trackers, and the Earth is flat. but Margaret being shortened to Peg. To quote a famous German philosopher, "What are the crappings in mine earholes?" So, Scarlet was not forgiven. In fact, she was simply forgotten. Her brand consigned to the landfill of business dreams gone bad, her business dissolved, and her love of the colour scarlet diminished somewhat. But hey, she still has naked celebrity pics and wonky-eyed cat memes to seek out, so don't feel too badly for our unfortunate protagonist. And the moral of this tale is simple. When it comes to social media and the big bad wolfy promises it baits you with, remember, there are big eyes to see you with, big ears to hear you with, and big teeth to swallow you up with. And they all lived happily ever after. If by all we mean the tech and social media companies that have absolutely no concern whatsoever for you or your success. In fact, as long as they're pegging you, they can live very happily ever after. Please like, subscribe, and if you want to know more, discover how to captivate, entertain, and immerse your audience through digital media with Jez Ray at speakerperformance.online. Jez Ray's Happy Endings was created by Jez Ray and Martin Pentecost, presented by Jez Ray. Copyright 2022, an Empower Publishing production.